right, Apple is one of the best performing stocks that I have ever seen. If we take a look at what has actually been going on with Apple throughout basically just this year even, it's been really strong, right? Like the year kind of started basically right at the low for Apple, and since the year started, we are up by 40%, which is absolutely huge. And if we actually take a look at some of the more intimate details of how this happened from the very beginning of this year to today, Apple also had this area of resistance at $154, and when it overcame this area of resistance, it actually came back down and found a little bit of support. That's a really big deal. I'm going to be covering the question with you guys of, can Apple continue to rise higher, and when we start forming bullish resistance to support flips, that's one of the strongest signs that this market could rally really strong from there. That's exactly what happened, and we are at the brink of something like this happening right now. It's actually a copy-paste situation about to repeat in this market, which I'm going to cover with you. If you are interested in trading this, and if you're a crypto guy like me, BingX will actually allow you to trade Apple stock directly on their platform without KYC and with only a Bitcoin deposit. So you have like amazing levels of anonymity. You're not going to take a picture of yourself or a picture of your ID to trade on this platform, and you can actually leverage Apple up. You can trade it with leverage as well. So I'm going to show you some really interesting setups. I am jumping deep into the stock market. I traded it before. I had some extremely amazing successes with Tesla, and this is the beginning of me restarting that chapter right now. I'm ready to make some fucking gains in this space, and I'm very, very excited. Now, quick message: if you are watching this on the main 𝗬𝗙𝗘𝗚𝗧 channel, head on over to the daily channel so that you can get all of these extra videos when they are published. Most of these videos don't even make it to the main channel, so you're already missing out on them, and a lot of our viewers have actually been able to pull some really cool successes already. This channel only launched like a month ago, and we've pulled some amazing results just in that short space of time, and we're starting the stocks now too. So let's go take a look at what we've actually been seeing here. What's really interesting is if we take a closer look at where Apple is right now, we do have this area of resistance basically at Apple's all-time high. And we've tested it a couple times already with varying degrees of rejections. What's really important, guys, is that when we manage to establish areas of resistance like this, which on this chart is quite a long-term area of resistance, that means this level is really important, critical for the market. And if it breaks, it can really send the market flying again. That's what's really interesting about this, is the fact that Apple has been able to hold this area of resistance for a long time. I know that it's annoying when we kind of, go through it and we live through like 500 days of not breaking the high. It can be quite annoying. But the blessing that's behind all of that annoying shit is that now that we've had to wait for so long, it means that this is a really mature area on the chart. It means that if we break this area on the chart, it's highly unlikely, in my opinion, it's highly unlikely that we're not going to continue to rise up. Breaking a level which is very mature usually means that the market shoots higher very, very quickly from that stage. And that's what I want to focus a little bit on with you in this video. If we take a look at the rejections we've been able to pull off from this area, we had a 15% dump here. This lasted 35 days. Quite a slow sell-off right here. On this occasion here, this was a 26% move down. This lasted 84 days. This was even slower. And right here, slower still, we had a 30% rejection. We've been having stronger and stronger rejections off this resistance level throughout time. We've actually been getting even worse rejections, and we are right at this ceiling again right now. Right, we are at this ceiling again. We can draw this resistance level, obviously, in a few different ways. On the other chart, I had it drawn, something a little bit more like this. But, what's very clear is that we have started to knock on that door again. We are ready either to, start forming some more bullish patterns or get an even bigger rejection. And if we take a look at where we might find support, if Apple does end up falling down, I think we could draw, a little support level somewhere around over here. This has been a pretty good level for Apple, stretching between $132 to $140 as a potential area of support. It would be from here a 22% drop, which is not bad. It's definitely a nice correction if that's what Apple ends up pulling off from here. But if we end up doing something a little bit more bullish, then the ideal situation for me is almost just waiting for the breakout, right? The breakout might take a while. We might take the scenic route for the breakout. We might do something a little bit like this and then come back up, or we maybe just kind of trade sideways, or maybe we come down here and we start forming some sort of ascending triangle, right? We start punching in some higher lows and then we break out. Either way, what I'm interested in is after that breakout comes, the safest trade opportunities are usually when the market comes back down to back test it. It doesn't always happen, and that's why it's the safest, because it's just not something that the market gives you particularly often. But with stocks and so on, and especially considering what we've seen with Apple already with this chart right here, we know that support retests are possible with Apple, and they do happen quite a bit. So if we are able to get that breakout, that's actually where this becomes a lot more interesting. This kind of long move right off that resistance level, maybe flipping it into support. There's no ceiling, right? I mean, Apple is already, I think, if I'm not mistaken, still the most valuable company in the world. It is just, paving the way for the rest of the economy, I guess, in a sense. So if it does start kind of rallying up, then, that's probably the path that I would expect it to take. And that's what I'd be interested in trading, right? Is I don't really want to trade it right now when we're just brushing up against that resistance level. I don't want to go short right now because this is a bullish trend, so why would I stand in front of a dragon? But also the other thing to keep in mind is that we've been testing this level for a while. Like I said, makes it a very mature level, but we've also tested it quite a few times. Now, let's actually really zoom in and understand how we've interacted with this resistance level so far. We had, on this occasion here, a clear breakout where we actually managed to get above the range. So that's absolutely great. We have the same thing right here, but we've had another attempt here. I'm going to count how many times we've actually tried to break this level. Individual times. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 now. We're on the 8th attempt within 2 years roughly at breaking this area of resistance. So, one of the things that we do know is that areas of resistance do tend to get weaker with time, not stronger. So, and especially, no, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. They tend to get weaker with subsequent tests. The more we test it, the more these levels get weaker. And that's really crucial for us to know because it does potentially indicate that, each subsequent attempt we're more likely to break out. If we pull something quite impressive out of the bag now, this would potentially lead to the big breakout that we'd be looking for. Now, what's really exciting is that the S&P 500 is also in a very strong position right now. The S&P 500 has been finding resistance here and been capped at its upside here for a while, since basically this high right here. We've been trying to break this resistance area and we haven't been able to do so for 106 days. And right now we're on the edge of breaking out. I don't know if we will break out. Obviously, we might just pull back again, but what's really clear is we saw the strong rejection and a weaker rejection, indicating to me that actually this market is gaining strength overall and might be getting closer to breaking out towards the upside. And the reason that that is such a big deal, ladies and gents, is that if we do get the big breakout for the S&P 500, well, guess what that's probably going to end up doing for Apple, right? Like if the S&P 500 gets the big breakout, Apple is probably going to see the breakout at the very same time. And that's where this could this could actually be much closer than we think. And the other thing that I want to highlight to you guys, in addition to BingX, if you're interested in having additional options, especially if you come from a more traditional background, PrimeXPT is going to be great for you. They're giving you more than BingX. BingX will give you over $5,000 in bonuses, but with PrimeXPT, what's really cool about these guys is no matter what you deposit, if you use my link and the promo code, which is in the description, you are going to get 7% back in your account of whatever you deposit. So if you deposit $100, you're getting 7% of that back. But if you deposit, say, $100,000, you're still getting 7% of that back. So it's up to you completely how much you deposit. And you can also withdraw your money the very next day. I've been using this platform for years, super safe and so on and so forth. I wouldn't be using a platform that isn't, at the top of safety. And these guys with their huge bonus will also allow you to trade the S&P 500 and Apple on their platform, which is really, really cool. I've actually been trading on their platform as well over these last years, and they've been absolutely phenomenal. So it's a huge bonus. That is free money that you can deploy into the market. Any profits that you generate using the $7,000 are yours to keep. You can withdraw it, and they don't even require KYC as well for you to get started. So this is well worth checking out. There's no barrier to entry, and it's very quick to get set up. Both of these platforms, PrimeXPT and BingX, allow you to trade Apple and the S&P 500. The other chart that I wanted to show you in addition to this is this one right here. Apple has been in a long-term ascending channel right here, just an ascending parallel channel. And this might seem a little bit exciting, but the reason that I'm not so excited about it is that these are generally going to be bearish patterns. We actually had the same thing happen right here. It was a little bit steeper But generally, what's clear with these patterns is that they do break down. They don't necessarily have to break down in horrible ways, right? I mean, this one, broke down at like $156 and it fell down to like 146. I mean, it was barely a drop at all. It was hardly anything concerning. It didn't last long. It lasted maybe like a month, which for Apple wasn't horrible. And it just kind of turned out okay. That's what I would expect to happen here, but I do still have to warn. I wouldn't be doing my job otherwise. I just have to warn you guys that this is generally going to be a bearish pattern, right? This was an ascending channel. They always break down. I mean, not always, but they generally do break down. And when they break down, it can just form these really nice staircase steps before the next one gets formed. So I'm not worried about it, but it is something to keep in mind. It could result in a breakdown from here, and maybe we find those, bits of support like I outlined for you guys, down here at like the $140, $135, $132 areas. Maybe that's where we find support if we do end up breaking out of this. And what's really convenient for Apple as far as the bears, people who are bearish on this market, is that this is a bearish pattern, and it is leading directly into the resistance area, right? Our resistance area is right here, and we have literally been forming a bearish pattern into the resistance area. So a rejection looks pretty likely. A rejection looks pretty possible, I think, at this stage right now. How deep that rejection is going to be, I don't know. But for me, the most interesting thing will be playing the bullish breakout if we do manage to, form that. A little bit of support here as well at 155. So this is going to be an important level to watch. But I'll give you guys more updates on this as the situation continues to evolve. This is my first ever fully dedicated stock video that's gone live to the public. If you've enjoyed it, if you have any feedback, I want you to let me know with the comment section down below. Also, again, if you are watching this on the main channel, this is not where the content is going to go. All of this content will be going to the 𝗬𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 daily channel, which you can find linked in the description down below. So just go to that link, subscribe there, tick the bell there so you get notified whenever I upload these videos. You're going to get more altcoin analysis around the clock from me and stock videos coming now as well. So I'm really, really excited for this. Once again, make sure you check out BingX or PrimeXBT if you want to trade these markets very, very easily. And of course, there's many more options available if you don't want to use these anyway. All right, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one. You know exactly what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Cheers.